Three-time or time traveler perspective, free will / doctor / fate / luck / divine writing, we humans are trapped in a linear flow of time. To us, future means what has not yet happened. But to the being who is capable of three-time travel, past, present, and future are all like a still picture. To the Creator, our entire life is a present reality. Everything is recorded. To the Creator, the future has passed, and this is destiny. That is, He has no interference with your freedom of action. The Holy Quran Surah Yusuf talks about the famous incident where Hazrat Yusuf, peace be upon him, interpreted the dreams of his two jailmates while he was in prison. 1. The dream of the two companions and the irrefutable outcome. One of the two companions of Hazrat Yusuf, peace be upon him, in prison, the cupbearer, saw in a dream that he was pressing grapes, and the other, the baker, saw a basket of bread on his head from which birds were eating. When Hazrat Yusuf, peace be upon him, explained that one would be released and returned to the royal court, and the other would be hanged too. Why could they not avoid the outcome? Even after knowing the future, they could not change their fate. The one whose death was destined could not escape from prison even if he wanted to. The one whose release was destined could not remain in prison even if he tried hard. Knowing the future here only served as an information. We are responsible for the results of our actions. When Hazrat Yusuf, peace be upon him, was in prison, his two prison companions each suffered the results of their actions. They are responsible for their ability, situation, their actions at that time. If I were sent back in time with a final result sheet before the 2022 World Cup final between Argentina and France, would I be able to change the result of the match? No, because the ability and situation of Argentina and France at that time would be the same result. They are responsible for their actions. The ultimate truths that emerge from Argentina versus France and the time travel theory. 1. Having information versus having power. You have the result sheet of the final, future knowledge, but when you go back in time and watch the game in the gallery, can you control the performance of the players on the field? No, Messi or Mbappe will play with their maximum talent and strength. Even though you have the results, every goal on the field will be the result of the players' immediate decisions and hard work. That is, even though the future is known to you, it is earned to the players. Similarly, even though Allah has the result sheet of our lives, the goals of our lives will be accomplished by us. Right work or input brings a good future output too. Meritocracy. The result always goes in favor of the best team. Argentina won because they were able to handle the pressure of nerves at that moment and played well. 3. The lesson of Acupas and Janus. The same applies to the two companions of Yusuf, peace be upon him, in prison. The prisoner who was hanged must have given some input crime or conspiracy in the past whose punishment was determined as the output. Yusuf, peace be upon him, only read the output in advance. He did not write their fate, they wrote it themselves with their actions. The final equation of my philosophy, we are 100% responsible for our actions. Our life is like a live football match. The Creator is like the spectator sitting in the gallery who already has the final score sheet. We are playing on the field with our maximum freedom. Knowing the future does not mean that the game is fixed. Rather, the game is going according to the rules, only the spectator is much more intelligent and above time. This point of mine is the biggest master key to understanding fate or destiny, which is time relativity. We usually make a mistake because we think that the Creator lives in a timeline like us. The thing is, 1, our time versus Allah's time. Us, we are trapped in time. Time for us is like a river that only flows forward, past, present, future. We don't know what will happen 1 minute later. Allah, He is a three-time traveler. The future you try to create with all your might, that future time has been passed by Allah. Those who say, what's the point of trying if everything is written, don't really understand the time dimension. They imagine Allah as a human being like them, low-caliber thinking. But when we think about Allah's time and our time separately, the equation matches. 1, we are free in the context of our time. 2, He knows everything in the context of His infinite time. Doesn't this line of thinking sound like the space-time block theory of physics? Where the past, present and future exist together in the fabric of the universe. Where the past, present, and future exist together in the fabric of the universe. However, some echoes of this thought can be found in history and modern science. Albert Einstein and the Block universe in modern physics, Einstein's theory of relativity. Although the past, present, and future seem separate to us, they all exist together in the fabric of the universe, space-time fabric. He once said, "For those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is just a stubborn illusion." This scientific truth of Einstein can be applied to the field of fate. Stephen Hawking and the grand design. When Stephen Hawking talked about the design of the universe, he also thought of a level where the flow of time is no longer linear. However, they were hesitant to associate it with the name of the creator. However, in the example I gave, if the people of that time believed in the results of the football match and took action, a good future is possible. When Yusuf, peace be upon him, saw the king's dream and learned about 7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine, that famine did not stop. The law of nature runs at its own pace. The main purpose of knowing the future was to prepare for that difficult time. Allah Almighty has warned us about the consequences of our every action and future in His holy book. If you believe, your future will be bright. If the future predictions made by the astrologer match, then is the astrologer responsible for my good or bad? Or am I responsible? Who will decide what to do? Who is responsible for finding out where the decision will come from? Although the astrologer does not know the future, only Allah knows. This means that the being who knows the future is not responsible for your actions and, consequently, your future. This is my own opinion. As knowledge increases, better opinions will emerge. I especially ask Allah for forgiveness for any mistakes I made in this purpose. The opinions of wise people are highly desirable to correct mistakes.